What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's reaction video is the top 10 things only Americans do and think it's normal. Well, we're not American, are we? So we're going to let you know whether we do this, for one. And we're going to let you know whether we think it's strange, because I guess it's implying that we think it's weird.
Yeah, like it's not normal for us to do it, maybe.
Definitely. Smash that video if you enjoy this kind of content. Smash that subscribe button as well, you absolute legends. Again, I just want to add, this is Watch Mojo. Not everyone likes Watch Mojo.
Is this the one that adds the film clips in?
So it did on some of them. Because Watch Mojo is kind of like, from what we've reacted to, there's different ones. I forgot what the ones are called, but there's a few different, like Watch Mojo, something else Mojo.
Oh, okay.
If that makes sense. I'm pretty sure there's a few multiple channels, and one of them definitely had a lot of film clips in there. Like I said in our last video, I do apologise. I have done a marathon relay today. I'm a little bit tired, so if Millie's having to carry the show, that's what it is. But again, we just reacting to ourselves, don't we? So it will be what it will be. Smash that like button if you enjoy it, guys. Smash that subscribe button. And again, weird isn't bad. Different, weird isn't always bad. If it is bad, we'll let you know. But 99% of the time, if we're like, oh my god, what the hell, it's because it's not bad. It's because it's foreign.
It's just
to us.
it's just not what we do.
Yeah, and it's something which we're shocked about. It doesn't mean it's always bad. I like to stress that. And let's check out what the 10 things you guys do, which is normal for you guys, but not normal to everyone else apparently. Let's go.
If you don't like America, why don't you get out?
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 things Americans do that the rest of the world doesn't.
You're 15, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta call your parents.
It's time. It's time.
Don't wait another minute for Claritin.
Do you do it every day?
Yeah.
For this list,
I'm
we're
so
going over the
confused.
things that are more common in the United States of America than in most other countries. While some of them are present elsewhere, they're not quite as widespread as in the US. And no judgment. This is supposed to be a lighthearted list after all, so keep a sense of humor and know that it's all in good fun. If there's a particular Americanism that our list didn't cover, please do tell us in the comments.
Let us know in the comments below.
Number 10. Refer to the USA as America.
America,
Outside of the United States
I
of
just
America,
want to say, this is the film clip one. This is the film clip ones.
referring to the country as America is much less commonplace. After all, there are 2 entire continents called America, comprising like 35 distinct nations.
I personally say America. I don't think
I would say it was the opposite way around.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard anyone say to me, "Have you been to the United States of America?"
No, have you been
Everyone
to America?
says, "Have you been to America?"
Yeah, and I felt like you guys say USA more than we do.
Yeah, I don't think we ever say USA.
Maybe we're the odd ones out.
And I feel like people don't say United States of America. No one. I don't think in Britain many, like for me anyway, that I've ever spoke to.
Yeah, I'd say we just say America.
The full thing, and I don't think they even say USA as a
Yeah,
abbreviation.
I think it's the opposite way around, to be honest. As in, like, we don't say USA, we say America. But that's just us.
Yeah.
Let us know what you guys think to that one. Already controversial on the first topic. Let us know what you think in the comments.
Referring to only one country on one of those continents as America too is really confusing for anyone who doesn't live there.
From this day
Not for us.
forward, it's going to be only America first. America first.
Calling it the US, USA, the United States, or just the States is much more common in the rest of the world. Even so, everyone still calls its residents Americans, which isn't confusing at all.
You can't say it, but you know it's true.
We're not going to
Number
say
9,
USAans,
have
are we?
pharmacies that sell groceries. In most of the world, pharmacies sell exactly what their name implies, pharmaceuticals. While
a pretty
you will see
American thing to say,
tangentially
actually.
related
Very
items
American.
like grooming products or hygienic things like toothbrushes, pharmacies don't usually carry food or toys. But in the US, that's much more common. The country is all about the all-in-one experience. Not only will dedicated grocery stores have pharmacies
went to
built in,
CVS.
but
The thing
pharmacies
is,
will
what I
also
see is it then not a pharmacy and not just a general shop, and it's more general shops sell drugs?
Yeah, because it's not really class, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I ain't got an issue with pharmacy. I have no issue.
Like, for me, I don't know, because we went to CVS, didn't we?
I can't remember,
We did.
to be honest.
We went to the one by Central Park, and I remember getting crisps and that in there. Because I think we went in there for blisters, because we saw a pharmacy. We went in there for blister plasters.
I can't remember.
I don't want to remember the
I
story.
guess this is so
we
random.
went in there for blister plasters, and we were like, oh, there's like Cheetos and things like that. And then we'd buy them.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise
And
me.
But then I feel like I've said this story to a few people, like my mum, my family, like
Okay,
my families.
okay.
I'm getting to the point.
I guess so,
and
yeah.
I've always said, like, we went to this place called CVS.
Yeah.
I've never said CVS pharmacy.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
Very groceries.
Do you want to carry this video
Granted,
again?
isn't always great. But if you're desperate for milk and the
I
grocery
love
store
Chips
is
Ahoy.
closed, or you just don't feel like crossing the street to get there, you can get some. While most of the world still limits drugstores to drugs and self-care products, we have a feeling this one might catch on. Number 8.
There's nothing
Vote
wrong with it.
before they
Nothing
can
wrong at all.
drink. Worldwide, the age at which a person can legally drink alcohol is most commonly 18. The age usually considered to be adulthood, though it is even earlier in some countries. The voting age on a global scale is also generally 18, for similar reasons, although of course there are exceptions.
The Voting Rights Act of 1970 lowered the voting age to 18 for national elections, and the 26th Amendment made the change to 18 permanent for all elections.
And 18 is where it has stayed for the past 50 years.
However, the United States requires young adults to wait 3 years after being able to vote before legally being allowed to drink at 21.
Yes, that's
This
mental
was
to me.
enacted during the
Yeah.
1980s to prevent alcohol-related driving accidents.
This law has been an abysmal failure. It hasn't reduced or eliminated drinking. It has
But, like, the
simply
thing
driven
is-
it underground, behind closed doors, into the most risky and least manageable of settings.
While it
I feel like people still drink under 21.
Yeah, that's like what we were just saying
But
then.
like, and kids
They
go
just do it
to
at
house parties and things like that, so they still potentially could get in the car. So it's
But
not-
potentially more likely
I feel
because
like
they think
you're
they can
less-
get away with it
I
because
feel
no
like-
one knows they've drank.
yeah, and you know, like if they went out to a bar, then it's kind of a bit harder to get back into your car, isn't it?
Potentially, yeah. No, I completely agree. Same in the UK. Until you're 18, you do house parties and stuff like that. But when you're 18, it's more going out then.
I don't know.
And then,
I just at home.
yeah, but you know what I mean? It's kind of one of them. So
Yeah.
when you do go out, it's more you're out, you get a taxi, stuff like that. Where,
Yeah. Whereas if you're at a house party, you just think, oh, I'll just catch a ride with a friend, or
yeah, potentially, because you're all just mates there. You're not out
it's probably
randomly.
actually more dangerous that he's 21.
Let us know what you think.
it helped in the short term, ultimately it hasn't really stopped teenagers
necking
from
that.
drinking.
Fair play.
The
I could not
result
do
is
that.
Many people, both inside and outside the U.S., question the logic of why an 18-year-old American can decide who forms the government but not get buzzed.
The reality is everyone drinks before they turn 21. That's why when you go out for your first legal drink, you have to react with that faux surprise like you've never heard of alcohol before. Ooh, what does this alcohol taste like? Oh, it's unusual. Oh, this is true.
Number 7, tip service personnel.
All right, everybody cough up some green for me.
That's very American. We've covered that in a lot of videos, so we won't go in depth about it.
Come on, throw in a buck.
I don't tip.
You don't tip?
No, I don't believe in it.
While the concept of tipping waitstaff or other people in the
I
service
don't believe
industry
in
is
it.
known worldwide, few countries have embraced the concept to the degree the U.S. has.
Labor movements declare the practice undemocratic, and anti-tipping legislation was enacted across several states. But
I just say, I
restaurants and
wish we
rail
were back in
operators,
those
like the
times.
Pullman Company, embraced
so
tipping
much
because it
nicer.
allowed them, among other things, to hire recently freed slaves without having to pay them.
Many workers, particularly in the restaurant industry, rely on gratuities to get by, in part because laws allow managers to pay sub-minimum wages to tipped workers. However, in various other countries, tipping is seen as insulting. They're just doing their jobs after all.
Each year, Americans spend $40 billion on tips.
That's a
more
lot.
than we spend on foreign aid and more than we spend on gambling. And like gambling, it's not entirely clear that tipping makes any sense in the first place.
While some countries' workers certainly appreciate it, it isn't expected like it is in the US. Mostly because employees are paid a high enough baseline salary that they don't need tips to survive.
We still tip though.
Yeah. I feel like now more and more common it's becoming that restaurants add a little service charge.
Yeah, I mean, we covered it in so many videos, and so we don't want to spend too much time on it, but we do tip. I just want to get that across, and please check out our other videos. Maybe like 21 things that America does. I'm pretty sure we've said it on that one, because you get our stance on it, and it pretty much is with you guys, just not as much, you know? But that's just where we're from.
bribe into an obligation that makes the end of every meal suck.
Number 6, obsess over the military.
And I think
that's because it's so powerful.
I speak for the rest of the WWE. I certainly speak for myself. I would like to say thank you to all our men and women who choose to don the uniform of the United States military.
The American military is probably the best in the world, as it should be, since it's also one of the best funded militaries in the world. In fact, the US spends several times more on their military than their nearest competitor, China. What's more, there are more than a few American citizens who have a higher than average fascination with their own military and its culture.
I thank you as your commander-in-chief because you inspire me. Your willingness to serve, to step forward at a time of war and say, send me, is the reason the United States stays strong and free.
While other countries certainly appreciate their troops, you don't...
In a lot of these clips so far, I've heard Americans referring to themselves as the United States. Not America.
see as many people wearing camouflage as a legitimate fashion statement. Likewise, you don't see movies made elsewhere that glorify the military to the degree that the US does.
Do me a favor.
They make most of the best movies though.
I've never seen that, have you?
Top Gun. Oh, Independence Day. Oh, Independence Day. Is that the one with Will Smith?
I don't know, I've never seen it.
I've seen the one with Will Smith. For some reason it reminded me, I know it said...
It reminded me of Top Gun too.
I haven't seen Top Gun, but I know about it. I know it said Independence Day. For some reason I just said, what, Top Gun? But I've done the marathon relay day, you can let me off. But if it's the one with Will Smith, I have seen it a long time ago. I don't think it is that one though.
You alien assholes! In the words of my generation, up
Part of the American enthusiasm is certainly rooted in patriotism. Still, it may also be a reaction to an increasingly anti-military sentiment that has popped up over the last several decades.
No war, okay? No war, okay? Oh, here you go, boys. These will help you protest. It's good to see that you care about peace, boys, okay?
Number 5, work too much. Americans are workaholics, at least compared to basically every other country in the world. The majority of Americans work more than 40 hours a week.
Why do we do this to ourselves? Well, the conventional answer is that this attitude towards work makes the American economy the envy of the world. America is a hectic, turbocharged system that builds, destroys, rebuilds, all at warp speed.
They also tend to lack many of the things the rest of the world takes for granted, like paid holidays, as well as sick and parental leave. Research has shown that happier, less stressed workers do better at their jobs. Iceland even recently tried a 4-day work week that proved wildly successful.
There's lots of other benefits to
Jersey, aren't they?
They are, but I really don't get these. I've had it at work. If you're going to offer me 4 days, I will take it. But it's surely right, if you're the employer, right?
God, here we go.
No, but if I was paying you to do work, and then you turn around and said to me, look, if you pay me that same amount to work for 4 days, I'll get the same amount of work done. I'm just going to go, well, why are you not working that 5th day? What are you doing in that 5th day to mean you're not getting the same amount of work done? I'm paying you for a 5th day work. Do you know what I mean? You're basically saying...
Yeah, you're basically saying, I can do it in 4 days, I'm just spreading it all out.
Yeah, every week I've got a whole day worth of doing nothing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But are they paying them for the 4?
Yeah, they're paying them the same wage
for 3-day
for 4.
weekend?
Because they say because they get more days off, they work hard and do it. But
surely they should be doing that anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're going to offer me...
I'd love a full day.
I'd love it.
4-day school week, imagine.
But if I was the employer, it makes no sense. You know what I mean?
They're working with. It's not just the it's not just the mental health and economy. Good for the economy. It's also environmental benefits too. Evidence looks like when we're commuting less as a result of a 4-day week, that brings down emissions. Also, energy consumption goes down. So this is a policy that's win-win for the environment, for workers, for employers. What's not to like about it?
I don't know about
Several
employers.
European countries take long breaks for lunch.
You start your own business.
While the American drive is admirable, grind culture becomes problematic when it costs workers their mental health and well-being. Number 4, put sales tax on everything.
Sales tax is paid when you buy something, and the business you purchased your goods from sends that money to the government. There are 2 types of sales tax: general sales tax and excise taxes. General sales tax is a tax levied on most goods you buy.
GST.
Excise taxes are taxes levied only on certain items.
Yeah,
Most countries
kind of.
enact a
That is
value-added
fair. That is what they
tax
do,
or
yeah.
VAT on
So
goods or
that is pretty much explaining in America when you get to the till, you get added on tax.
Okay.
Obviously in the UK we got a VAT, so it's already. So when you let's say
So in Jersey, so you got sometimes they say 5% GST added at the till.
that's different because that is import stuff.
Right. Okay.
This is if we see a pint of milk and it's
already got the tax.
It's £1.50, let's say. That is the price we're paying because it's already got that tax on it, VAT.
Okay.
Whereas in America it'll be £1.75 or whatever it would be, depending on the sales tax.
Yeah.
But it'll tell you it's £1.50. You get
But
to till,
it's more.
it goes £1.75 because I've added the tax on. If that makes sense. I think that's
services
right.
purchased within their borders. These taxes are collected from every person in the supply chain, from the distributors to the consumers. The United States is one of the few to use sales tax, which not only vary wildly from state to state, but are only enacted after a purchase has been made.
The state treasury depends on sales taxes to pay for road repairs, education, and medical care for children, seniors, and the poor.
They're also not listed in the initial price, which can leave foreign visitors and many Americans scratching their head as to why they're being charged more than the price on the product. Better or worse? You decide. It's certainly more confusing.
What's the advice then? If you're going to buy a big ticket item, where's the cheapest sales tax?
Well, you know, you can go online and look at all the sales tax rates for different cities, and if you look at one dealership or one, you know, Best Buy or something like that, you can find the different zip codes and look at the sales tax rates and just see how much that'll little take off, and then take your family out for a nice night.
There you go.
Number 3, the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
In many parts of the United States,
I
school
do rate
children
it.
I love
and
that.
adults in some settings are expected to recite the Pledge of Allegiance. This is an expression that they will be loyal to the USA and is usually performed daily while looking at the nation's flag.
But back then, in 1892, when it was written by Francis Bellamy, Bellamy was a Baptist minister, and in conjunction with a magazine called The Youth's Companion, he wrote this, at that time, 23-word Pledge of Allegiance.
Citizens of other countries might respect or salute their flag and country, but a daily affirmation? Not in most places.
Yeah, we don't do
Pledge
it,
of
but I
Allegiance
love that you
has been
do.
the subject of controversy and criticism, both from outside the U.S. and from within. Some see it as indoctrination. Others find its mentions of God problematic, and still others think it was simply written to sell merch. Whatever the case, it is not a common thing in the rest of the world.
But the bottom line is, we all look different, sound different, but we are all on the same team.
Number 2,
That's
go
true.
bankrupt from healthcare.
Hopefully.
Medical costs are the cause of over 60% of all bankruptcies in the United States.
In 2017, 1/3 of the money raised on GoFundMe went towards medical campaigns. And the site raises $650 million a year for more than 250,000 medical campaigns.
Americans experience a variety of unexpected charges while getting much needed care, from surprise bills to being charged for riding in an ambulance.
According to one study, 71% of all ambulance providers do not take the patient's insurance. That same study found that 79% of patients who took an ambulance could get a surprise bill, with an average total around $450.
In
Definitely
some parts
adds
of the
up if you
civilized
need
world,
it.
even seeing a medical bill can be an uncommon occurrence. Healthcare worldwide tends to be much more regulated than it is in the U.S. It's either funded through taxes in a single-payer system or else through individual insurers who are more strictly monitored.
Other countries, they don't have this problem. Instead of every private insurance company negotiating with every healthcare provider, there's just this big list. Country, the central government, they go and they say, if you want to sell to us, to all of our people, then here's what you can charge for a checkup. Here's what you can charge for an MRI or a prescription for Lipitor.
Bottom line, while there can sometimes be extra charges, for most of the world, medical debt is basically unheard of, except in horror stories about the U.S.
Can't get a credit card. I can't buy a house. I don't see me ever being out of debt.
Before we get to our top pick, here are some honorable mentions. Free refills. Restaurants will
Winds
fill
me
up
every time I hear
glasses with...
this.
With
We
free
never, we
refills.
never took advantage of this.
It is depressing because, like I say, if you guys have been on my channel, we went to New York and we just never knew. We never knew. It was before the channel existed.
We never knew about this.
You guys didn't let us know before, even though we didn't do any videos.
We didn't know you.
And it's depressing. We lost out on free refills.
Even more drinks for free and with lots of ice?
Sign me up. Sign me up.
throw
What drink
baby
was that, though?
showers. Many cultures see them as bad luck or in poor
know.
taste.
This was an American thing, but I feel like this is quite common in the UK now.
Definitely coming more often. Kind of like prom as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wear shoes indoors.
That's
That
strange.
freaks me out. That
American
freaks me
does
out.
this, but it's still
Clean your
considered
shoes, take 'em
weird.
off.
No, I don't like it. That gives me weird feelings.
Especially on the carpets.
Advertise drugs to consumers. Pharmaceutical companies' clout allows this.
That's about the money though, isn't it?
Basically everyone but them.
These ads are legal in most countries, but in the US, they're everywhere. On average, 80 of them air every hour on American television.
Ask your doctor.
Weird.
Ask your doctor.
My doctor told me. Use red plastic cups for alcohol. Who decided
That's
on
so
these
American.
at
Such an
every
American
American
thing.
party?
Here we go.
In the UK, we
Before we
refer to them as
continue-
American cups.
Yeah, American pie cups. Which we've got quite a lot of them now because you
We,
legend.
do.
So
we used them, didn't we, for beer pong?
Yeah, when we
Good
did beer
friends.
pong not long ago, we used them. So thank you.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel and
Same here.
ring the bell to get
Smash
notified
that
about
subscribe
our latest
button.
videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of
Go
them.
for all.
If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Use the Imperial Measurement System.
Can you explain to me
Yes.
how the country that can send men and hopefully women to the moon
Yeah, on and
still
beyond.
are in gallons and inches?
Mm.
And when the entire world is metric, I do not understand this.
There are 3 countries in the world that don't use the metric system: Myanmar, Liberia, and the United States.
There you go.
Objectively, metric is the less arbitrary measurement system since everything goes by tens. Even Britain and Commonwealth countries have converted.
The point is, the US system
Even,
has always
like,
been a little more accessible than metric. Sure, stacking up 12 thumb widths to make a foot, that's still kind of weird, but it's not so weird that we're clamoring to change it.
Although admittedly, they do still use measurements like feet and inches casually.
So now I can't ask a distance when I visit another country. I'm like, how far is that? They're like, that's 500 kilometers. I'm not in the Olympics.
So why hasn't the US converted? We'll give you one guess. Did you say it's because of money? Because money is definitely a big factor. Converting to a whole new system of measurement is expensive. Other factors include a need for control and stability of the US. So, inertia, basically. Why change when you don't need to? You know what your
true,
mom
works for
says.
them.
If all the other countries jumped off a bridge, would the US do it too? Or something like that.
A 2015 Rasmussen poll asked Americans if we should switch to the metric system and adopt Celsius as our main temperature scale. 64% said no, while 21% said yes, and the remaining 15% was undecided. So it looks like we're perfectly fine with being different.
Do you agree with our picks?
It is one of them.
Check out
One,
this
it
other-
costs a lot of money in all this
Yeah.
stuff which is being produced
And
every
everyone
day.
knows it, so
Everyone
just
knows
leave
it. You're going to have to teach it to everyone who's grown up with it as well. A lot of people won't know metric and stuff like that. It's just a lot of hassle, I guess, but it potentially has advantages, but it also has a lot of disadvantages.
Yeah.
Enjoy that?
Yeah, except the first one. I'm fuming about the first one. Because she also referred to them as the US.
I
The
guess
whole way through.
You've kept on to
United
that one.
States.
Let us
you
know.
didn't once say America.
Let us know what you guys think about it in the comments below. Smash that like button if you enjoyed it. Smash that subscribe button. There's definitely a few repeats in there, wasn't there?
Yeah.
But if you want to check out our full response on some of them, check out other videos because we're not going to keep repeating the exact same stuff. There was some new ones in there which were pretty cool. So smash that like button, guys. Smash the subscribe button. What's the video?
Have a fantastic day.
And we'll see you legends in the next one. Peace.